Alyssa, so where did that go wrong tonight? It seemed reasonably in hand at around about 2 for 60 with you going well. Can you put your finger on what happened?
Probably me getting out wasn't ideal. I think you probably needed sort of a match-winning score there, but I think we probably didn't chase as smart as what we have in the past. I think full credit to Poonam Yadav. I thought she bowled quite cleverly tonight. We obviously prepared for her, but just didn't play her very well tonight and sort of lost our way in the middle. I think when only two batters get over double figures, you're not going to chase down a total too many times. So, we just couldn't build a partnership, and that's probably where we fell away.
Do you think the fact that she was injured during the tri-series and didn't play, has that played a part tonight? I know you've seen her before, but you haven't seen her for a little while. Yeah,
to be fair, I didn't know she was injured during that, so I thought it was tactical. I'm not letting her face her in that series. But look, we prepare really well for her. She bowled that first over pretty regulation as a leg spinner, and then slowed it up immensely after that. So we probably just didn't adapt to that well enough tonight. But like I said, we've planned for that. We just didn't probably play as smart as what we should have.
Alyssa's been a lot said about your form over the past couple of weeks. Was it nice, I guess, to get away the way you did today and sort of give you extra confidence, or did you need that extra confidence, I guess?
It'll probably give me a little extra confidence, but I've said all along I felt like I've been hitting the ball all right, just finding ways to get out. So tonight was obviously pleasing to be able to put some runs out there. Obviously would have loved to win the match for my side, but I guess I can take some confidence out of being able to build a little block of runs for myself. Obviously disappointed not to be able to be there, not out at the end, and get the team over the line.
People have spoken about this World Cup, and you guys have been asked about it for more than 2 years now. I mean, were there extra nerves going into tonight's game as opposed to other games? Did you sort of feel that expectation or that pressure more than previous games, I guess?
No real extra pressure or expectation. There were a few nerves out there today, and you'd be silly if you weren't nervous. I think walking out and there's 14,000 people, mainly cheering for India, but cheering for Australia as well, was a really special moment for everyone. And yeah, there were nerves, but it was also a level of excitement from the group that this was all happening. It was finally here and we were playing, and I thought whilst India got off to a pretty good start with the bat, I thought we pegged them back really well and just settled into what we normally do with our bowling, and I thought we did really well to restrict them to that total, and obviously just let ourselves down with the bat.
You've played at this ground only once before. North Sydney Oval is the default home of Australian cricket when playing in Sydney. Yeah. But taking the T20 World Cup to almost 14,000 people, has that almost forced you guys to play at a venue which you had no information about practically? And is the surface that suited India's style of play more?
I think we had plenty of information on what the wicket was going to do. The Thunder play here quite regularly. We played a practice game leading into the tri-series here. We knew what it was going to do. We knew how it was going to play, and I just think we didn't play it that smart tonight. I think we sort of potentially went out there thinking it was a really flat wicket and played some shots that we probably shouldn't have. I think most of the wickets that fell today were batters playing across the line in both innings. So for us, we'll probably just have a look at that and potentially say we didn't adapt to conditions as well as what we'd hoped. But it was fantastic to be able to play in a nice stadium with 14,000 people. I think we don't really get that opportunity very often. So to get that tonight, I'd take that any day with a slow wicket. Just to experience that tonight was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a record score for a women's T20, or record attendance for a women's T20.
Yeah, it's just the start. It's the start of the tournament. There's obviously some big talk about what's going to happen at the back end of the tournament, but it's nice to be able to start this way and see so many people out here, especially young kids out here, supporting both sides. I think that was really special.
You said you prepared a lot for Poonam Yadav. We've seen England, it's hard to prepare for her because of her height. We've seen England prepare in a very unique way where Ali Maiden goes down on one knee and bowls from that kind of a height. Do you guys prepare in any different way for her?
Yeah, we do. I suppose it's more talk and what each individual batter is going to potentially do to combat that. Obviously, we don't get leg spinners coming down at 60 kilometres an hour very often, and she's incredibly skillful at that. So it was more the individual batters, and look, we've got a lot of right left-handed combinations in our side, and we like to think that could combat a lot of spin attacks, but it obviously didn't pay off tonight. But we'll just review that and see what we could do better.
You mentioned batters getting out playing across the line in both innings. Was it something you talked about at the innings break that you should avoid?
Yep. A little bit, yeah. So, like I said, I just don't think upon reviewing that later, I think there'll be a few comments about how smart we approached that. At the end of the day, at one point we needed to run a ball, and to let that push out to 8 or 9 and over is probably not ideal. So we'll just have a look at how some of the things that we could potentially do better.
And obviously that puts a lot of pressure on now with 3 must-win games remaining in the group.
Yeah, we love a bit of pressure. That's fine. We'll look. We always talk about you can't go through this tournament undefeated. Obviously, you don't want to lose the first game, but you often take more out of a loss than what you do a win or a scratchy win in that scenario. So we'll take all the positives we can out of that. Obviously, put the negatives aside, and probably one of the blessings of our really crazy schedule is that we don't have a lot of time to think about it and dwell on it. We'll just go out there and at the whacker against Sri Lanka and hopefully put another good performance on the board and get a win, hopefully.
Molly Strano playing tonight. She wasn't even in the squad earlier this week. What did you make of her performance?
Yeah, she did an outstanding job. Obviously, coming into the side last minute, obviously for Tay, like for like, take it as you will. But it was a great performance from her. Obviously, she's in the side for that new ball bowling up front, and she's done what she's done throughout the whole WBBL, the 5 seasons we've done it. She's done an outstanding job, and I think she'll play a crucial role for us in this tournament moving forward.
And has coach or captain kind of got the group together yet and spoken, and what's the message?
About today? No, not yet. I'm not sure. I've been whistled about here, there and everywhere, so I haven't heard anything. But look, like I said, we don't have a lot of time to dwell on it, dwell on the loss. We'll take the learnings, we'll speak about that and how we can potentially be better in certain situations. But look, we'll jump on a plane nice and early to Perth tomorrow and get stuck into preparing for Sri Lanka.
Midge, given the predicament you find yourself in now, obviously virtually need to go undefeated. How important is it that when you get against Sri Lanka, girls like Shamari Adapadu, like you don't let them get away, because obviously in T20 cricket, one batter can take a game away for you and that'll be curtains.
Yeah, 100%. She's obviously in some good form too. They just beat England by 10 wickets, so we're not taking any team in our group lightly. I think it's a really tough pull, and we love that. We love going into some really tough contests, and yeah, look, we won't take any of their batters lightly. Chamari Adapadu loves facing our attack. She's hit us to all parts around the ground over the last couple of years in World Cups. So, look, we'll just prepare the best we can and get our plans in place. And I know that if we execute them, that we'll be okay. But in saying that, we've got to do that.
Were you a little bit taken aback by Shivali Verma's approach at the top of the innings? Did it surprise you at all?
Not one bit. She doesn't hold back, and I think it's fantastic to watch, as a fan of the game, that, a young player is completely fearless and comes out and plays like that and approaches the innings like that. I think she sets up the game really nicely for India if she comes off. So no surprises from us. I thought we actually bowled pretty well to her and almost executed our plans to her. I think when we got too full, she was able to hit down the ground, but when we executed, we found a wicket. So full credit to our bowling attack. I think they're naturally going to come out and take the game to us, but I think we held strong there and, we're able to climb back in the game after getting a couple of wickets early.
And just on Yadav again, you mentioned you'd prepared well, but do you think you underestimated her?
No, not one bit. We know how skillful she is. She's been taking wickets in this format and the one-day format for a long period of time. So I don't think at any point we underestimated her. I just don't think that we played her that smart tonight. Even just taking our medicine and attacking the other end probably would have been a good option. So like I said, we'll review that and we'll have a look at potentially what we can do better if we face them again. But, we don't. Hopefully that won't be for a little while.
Last 2 things first.
Just wanted to ask about Annabelle. What did you make of her performance, her first World Cup, and how important is getting a catch on one of the first games?
Yeah, Belzy's just fit in seamlessly to this side, which is a real sign that she's ready and that our domestic competitions in this country are doing the right things for our young players. So It's fantastic to see her get involved tonight with a catch. It hasn't been easy going for her in the fielding department since she started, so it was great to see her confidence under the ball there. And even with the bat, I thought, her intent to come out and play really straight and do all the right things, I think was fantastic. So, like I said about Molly, I think Belzy will also be a really key player for us moving forward in this tournament, not just with the bat, but I think with the ball as well.
Mitch, you mentioned WBBL, and one player that we haven't seen in WBBL is Poonam, despite being highest wicket taker in T20 International since 2018. Do you think that might change after tonight?
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. You'll have to ask all the general managers as to who they've got on their list for the next few years. I think it's great to probably have another leg spinner in the competition. We saw Amelia Kerr come in last year and have a really great impact for the Brisbane Heat. So, yeah, look out. Poonam Yadav might be running around for a side.